Hello and welcome to IBTimes TV. I'm Leanna Brinder, Business Editor for the International Business Times. Joining me now is Dr. Richie Nanda. He's the Global Chairman on Topsgroup. So hi, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me over.
Well, kicking off with the security sector, I've heard before that you said you can't put a price on security. So really since the financial crisis, how has the sector evolved?
I think security is a very recession-resistant industry. Recession has affected us a bit, of course, but security, whether you have a mall, you need security. You don't have a mall, you have no visitor, you still need security for your property. So security is something which I think is quite essential in today's times. With the growing threat of terrorism, global onslaught of various crimes that we have, internal conflicts that we have, the issues that we have in our cities and our countries, I think security is required all the time.
Sure, and I mean, in the banking sector, have you found that it's actually increased in terms of the amount of requirements your clients need?
Of course. For example, Tops and Shield, we secure nearly all the banks in the country, in England, within the UK, India as well. So earlier, the banking industry just required basic security, which is man guarding services. But now the banks are getting more towards a total security solution, an end-to-end solution approach, where they use investigations as a very important tool, security systems, risk management, consultancy. So it's a whole gamut of solutions that we offer our customers, and they're very receptive to it.
Sure. And I mean, maybe you can talk about some other clients that you've had. It's actually quite interesting in terms of VIPs. I hear that the company actually protected Michael Jackson at one point.
We did, yes, in Bombay.
And any interesting stories from that you can tell us?
Michael was a legend, is still a legend. I was just 26 when he came to Bombay, 27 I guess, pretty young. Tops was just coming up as a company. And we got the opportunity of securing Michael Jackson's tour. It was his first ever tour. And I had no clue, we had no clue as a team what Michael Jackson meant. We did, of course, I know the songs. And then he arrived. And before he arrived, his team came in and said, you have no clue what you're getting into. And I said, let's see that. And Michael Jackson, when he came on stage, I remember I was there as his main security director. And we had more than 276 people fainting. So the biggest task for us was to make sure that there was medical evacuation. So Michael Jackson comes on stage, people go, oh, Michael, and the girls start fainting. That was the first big mega event. But then after that, we've secured nearly every single celebrity, every single VIP you can think about. All of them.
And well, it's interesting to hear that it's from the first tour and it was in Bombay. So, I mean, that brings us neatly on in terms of the synergy between Indian and UK business. So can you tell me a bit about your rise in terms of building up the company and in terms of acquisitions as well?
Well, I joined the company 23 years ago on a salary of £10 a month, which is a fact. I said it's a fact because people don't believe that. They think £10 a month is nothing here. But in Bombay, it's still big. It was big money 20 years ago. We were turning around £2,000 a month with a small security firm. The rise was not as easy. People see us today and they think, wow, this guy's got the best of cars. He flies first class. But an entrepreneur's journey is very tough. People don't get to see what actually goes behind this 23 years. They only see the front. It was not easy because Bombay in those days, in 1993, was full of Mafia. Bollywood, it's like Los Angeles, where you have the Bollywood fraternity there. It's a lot of killings and murders and extortion and stuff. And here was a young guy who had to do his security business in a land full of killings and murders, extortion, terrorist threats as well. So yeah, it's not been easy for us. We've grown, within India, we've grown to become the largest security group. We employ just under 90,000 people there. That's huge, 90,000 people with 8,500 customers. We've got 120 offices now. When I joined the company, we had just one small cubicle, and now we're pretty big. We're all across India. And then 4 years ago, we acquired the Shield Group here. That was a turning point in the whole journey of Topsgroup, where we acquired Shield Group. Shield Group today is the 10th largest security group. We have aspirations of taking it to the number 5th position soon. There are more acquisitions on the anvil. We're looking at acquiring some more companies here. Very interested about that. In the next year or the next year, hopefully, we should be getting to America as well, where we're looking at acquiring a big security group there. My aim is to take Topsgroup and all our groups, all our companies, and achieve $1 billion revenue very soon. I was just being interviewed by Ernst & Young. I've been shortlisted yesterday for the Entrepreneur of the Year award. And I was telling them it's not about the money and the revenues and the profits and the EBITDAs. It's about the number of employees we employ and the amount of people we touch through our services and amount of people whose lives we save. I think revenues itself is not something that motivates me. What motivates me is about, touching people's lives and saving their lives.
Sure. And I mean, what's so interesting about your rise as an entrepreneur is that you recently entered the Sunday Times Rich list. So it must seem such a dream from the days of the £10 an hour. I know in some interviews you've mentioned before about an international Indian work ethic in helping entrepreneurs. Can you expand on that a bit?
Well, I think, it's being an Indian entrepreneur living in England now. It helps me a lot because I still have my Indian ways of working, which is very resilient, very, very tough, very aggressive. For us, I think generally Indian entrepreneurs don't rest ever. That's why they're quite successful in the world. Combined with our company's ethical standards and very high customer delightment levels, I think it's been a very good fit for us because all the British people here, all our employees, our customers, our friends, are quite similar to how we are. And I think it's just gelled so beautifully well together. Initially, when I acquired the Shield, I had some cultural issues because some of the gentlemen there were pretty old in age and me being pretty young. The aspirations differed. But once I acquired the balanced stake in the company, now I own 100% of the company, we got a new team who are all young, committed to this, the dream I have. Because without commitment, you can't achieve your dreams. Without the tenacity and without that I want to do it, you can't achieve it. So I needed people who could aspire to be like me, who were ambitious as well. And I've got the team now. And I think my CEO, me, and my whole team, we all geared now to take us to the next level.
Great. And to that next level, you mentioned expanding in maybe the US as well. Maybe you can just give us in a nutshell plan of where you see Topsgroup within the next year.
Next year is too early for us. Any big group would always talk about 3 years or 5 years. So in the next 3 years, we'll definitely be closer to the $1 billion revenue mark. We are roughly around 300 million now. 4 years ago, before recession happened, in our age generation, we didn't know what recession meant. We nearly acquired a $400 million company 4 years ago in America. We signed the deal, but the recession happened. Lehman Brothers collapsed right in front of my eyes in America, in New York. So we didn't acquire the company. But going forward in the next couple of years, we will acquire an American company. The intention of going into America is because America is a very huge market. Some people say, you should not go there. It's too slow. It's too matured. But I believe that we can bring in some value there. I believe we can improve our profit margins. I believe we can, with the cross-pollination of customers, with nearly 9,000 customers outside America, we can definitely increase the value chain, increase the business and the EBITDAs there as well.
And do you see any certain demographics within the security sector that seem a bit more attractive for business opportunity, whether that's sports events, VIPs, or financial institutions?
Well, security, what we do compared to others, we offer a total security solution approach. So our mandate with customers is not how many men do you require or how many cameras you require. We don't do that. So we understand the risk profiling of a customer. And then it could be a solution based with just manpower guarding, could be systems, could be technology, could be risk management consultancy, high-end training. So generally, higher margins are with on a product basis are with investigation and security systems. Guarding is a low-margin business. On the sector-wise, we are the largest security group in events. We do nearly all the events in India. We recently started doing events in UK as well. We entered into close protection to UK as well. So that's growing for us. We see a lot of interest in event security here and close protection security here. Investigation is something which we do a lot in India. Investigation is a very intelligent, very sensitive service we provide. We do, on an average, you'd laugh about this, we do 20,000 cases a month. Wow. In India. We are huge. We do background checks, frauds, corporate due diligence, vets, everything. We've recently started a company here called Shield Consults, headed by a former chief of police called Peter Aronson. And Peter and his team, under John, our CEO, are getting into investigations in a very big way in England, United Kingdom. So we see a big potential there as well.